Hey, hello. So I was already out here recording a video today, but I just remembered I haven't even showed you guys my new favorite secret weapon. Now, last year we made, was it last year or the year before? I made a video on this channel, right, on how to try and turn your camera into an Arri Alexa. And what it was like a website on the internet, you know, on the old, I sound like an old man, right? A website on the internet. Anyway, there was a website online where you could kind of put your camera details into it and it would kind of formulate, have an idea of how your camera works, and then it will kind of make your tone curve and the colors of your camera to match a similar tone curve and color match and stuff like that of an Arri Alexa and stuff like that. I'll cue a link to that video above, but trust me, when you see this product I'm about to show you right now, you ain't gonna go to these weird websites. You're just gonna check this thing out. This thing is mind-blowing. Now, the software is called Cinematch. It's made by the same guys that make Film Convert. Now, you guys have probably obviously heard of Film Convert, but Cinematch, the reason why they made this thing in the first place was to match people that use multiple different cameras. Like, for instance, right now I'm shooting a Blackmagic, right? But I also use Fujifilm cameras. So I could match my Fujifilm camera to my Blackmagic camera, so it looks like I'm shooting on two of the same cameras. Now, the way they do this is by collecting data over years and years and years. And it's not just data as in, you know, ones and zeros. This is data collected directly from the sensors of cameras that they have in their database. Now, their database goes way, way back. Now, think about how long they've had Film Convert. From back then, they've already had database collected on sensors, and they've just been gathering it and gathering it and gathering it. So, for instance, my Blackmagic camera right now is seeing green a certain way behind us. It sees life a certain way, right? And then it just dictates that, or it sends that information to the sensor array, and then that sensor sends that into, you know, the whole digitalization, and then that's the way your camera looks, right? The same happens on every other camera out there. What Cinematch have done, have calculated all those things, they've analyzed how each camera sees the world, and they've managed to put it in a software that can change and match them at the sensor, if that makes any sense. So essentially, yes, the software is used to match, say, an Arri Alexa to a Red Cam, or a Blackmagic Ursa to a Blackmagic 4K, you know what I mean? So you can just match the colors together. If you've got multiple cameras in use, you can match them together to look the same. But you know me, I'm a little bit experimental, and what I'm thinking is, if it does that, and it does that very, very well, might I add, so well that it's quite indistinguishable. You can't tell the difference is basically what I'm saying. I've got my my Fujifilm camera out with me today, and I've got my Blackmagic, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna hold my camera up here on my Fuji and on my Blackmagic. I'm gonna match them together, and I wanna see if you guys can even tell the difference. Give me a second. Let me hit record here on my Fuji and do a little bit of a talking head thing here. Boom. So this is how things are looking on my Fuji camera right now, and then you can see me on my Blackmagic. You can see me holding this camera here. Now, this is my Fuji colors, how they look. This is my Blackmagic, how it looks. And let's start matching these cameras together. So now they are both matched to the Fuji colors. That's like that. And now they're both gonna be matched to the Blackmagic colors. Now, I don't know if it adds a little bit of a curve to the light. It might do, it might not. It might make my footage on my Fuji even better, maybe a slight bit of dynamic range increase like what I get on the Blackmagic camera there. Not too sure, but I know the colors, they're matching pretty nicely. It's crazy, right? All right, so that experiment is done and dusted. We know this software can handle it and make these things match together, right, and look pretty cool, right? So let me just show you, I know I'm out in the field, but let me just show you a screen recording of the software so you guys can see how this is working, right? So I'm gonna try and remember how the software works. I'm just gonna talk over the screen recording. So when you load it up into DaVinci Resolve or into Premiere Pro or whatever you've installed it onto, right, you'll get this little pop-up menu on the right. Now, inside that menu, you have like your initial base camera or your original camera. You just go ahead in there and you pop in the camera that you're using. Say, for instance, on this scene right here, we're using the Blackmagic 4K. So we pop that in there. We go down to what color science we're using. We're using generation 5 on this camera. And then just below it says limited or full. Now, I think that refers to whether full will be if you're recording in RAW, and limited is if you're using ProRes or something like that, but they're both referring to a log format anyway. But we're gonna hit limited because we're recording in ProRes on that one, right? Then we move just down to the next section, which is the camera we want to convert this to. So now I'm going to click on Arri Alexa. It's got log C there and stuff like that. Click on limited, so it's matched. And then as we scroll down, you'll see there's a little tick icon or a little box there that we can tick to allow us to turn this log footage into Rec 709. Now, before we click that button, I just want to show you something, right? Take a look at the log file once again. I'm just going to show you some details here. Now, as I click off the Arri Alexa, so you're just left with the Blackmagic log, take a look closely. Look at the log, right? Now I'm gonna switch the Arri Alexa log back on. You see the changes and the differences there? Even when you look at the histogram, you can see that subtly changes as well as I toggle it on and off, which is crazy. Which is telling me actually this is actually more deeper than just seeing colors. This is actually seeing light similar to how light is seen on the other camera, which is incredible. All right, so we got that bit of information. Let's scroll down again and finally tick that box to turn this into a Rec 709. And boom, these are the colors. Now what I'm gonna do is quickly, I'm gonna do a side by side here. So on the left, I'm gonna do Rec 709 with the Blackmagic without no Arri Alexa conversion on there. And on the right, I'm gonna do the Arri Alexa conversion. So you can see the actual differences in color of what's going on. So here I am. Take note of the greens. I noticed Arri Alexas have a lot stronger greens and stuff like that. Maybe the color of my top here, or my hoodie, or my hat, my skin tones, for instance. All these things are slightly adjusted and pushed over to the Arri Alexa colors, and it looks pretty nice. Now, it doesn't just stop at Arri Alexa. Of course, everyone's just, the Arri Alexa's hailed high up in the skies when it comes to camera gear and stuff like that. It's not just left there. There's so many other cameras within inside this list. And weekly, I'm constantly getting updates in my email box for new cameras that have been added. So all you need to do is just go to the website, do the update and stuff like that. So as you look through this list, you'll see so many different camera brands. There's even iPhones on there. There's Sony cameras, there's Arri, there's Red, there's Panasonic. I mean, the list goes on and the list is constantly growing daily, which is pretty dope. And yeah, it's incredible what you can do. Now, I will make a full review of this software because this software goes a lot deeper than just changing the colors of your camera, just changing the way the highlights work and stuff like that. If you look closely on the DaVinci Resolve screen here, if you look down to my left here, you'll notice there's a little pop-up thing that comes up when you're using the Cinematch software. You can expand this and now you can control a lot more things. You've got your HSL in there, you've got a curve section in there, and then you've also got your color wheels and saturation, so you can adjust those things there, which is pretty dope. And then when you go back over to the right and you look at the software again, as you scroll down, you'll notice you can turn this actually into a LUT. Now, as far as I know, you can't change the adjustments afterwards. So if you change, the way, the exposure and stuff like that, I don't think that changes when you create a LUT. But what will change is the colors, the way it looks. So if you want to change your Blackmagic into Arri Alexa and then just save that as a LUT, then use it on your camera like what I'm doing today, you can do that with inside the software, which is pretty damn dope. I mean, this software it's amazing if you just want to turn your camera into something that's a little bit more expensive. I mean, personally now, I feel like the footage I can get out of my camera does look more expensive. It does look like I'm shooting on a higher budget camera, and that's just thanks to this software, and it's just beautiful. I'm not going to ramble on anymore. Go check this thing out. I'll leave a link below so you guys can, I think you can get a free trial for a little bit so you can test it out yourselves and come to your own conclusions. So thanks to Cinematch for sending this software out to me. I did contact these guys a while back because I saw it and I was like, I need to test this out because this is quite interesting. I've made videos similar to this and I think my audience will like it. So I hope you do like it. I absolutely love this software. So thanks guys for sending this out. And I guess that's it for today's video. Short and sweet, I hope. All right, catch you in the next one. Peace.